the dangerous conditions that are happening from coast to coast. In California, there's now a risk of landslides in the areas affected by those wildfires, possibly caused by the water used by firefighters. And elsewhere in the country, there's a different kind of threat from a huge cold blast set to affect nearly 300 million people. Rob Marciano is following all of this from the Pacific Palisades. Rob, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nate. From the wildfires to the landslide you mentioned directly behind me to this brutally cold air mass that's going to take hold across so much of the country. Let's get to that because that's going to set the stage for a number of things. And this stuff has been percolating in Siberia now for weeks. And that polar vortex is going to unleash that air mass well deep into the south. And really 3/4 of the country is going to see this beginning really this weekend. Tomorrow, across parts of the upper Midwest, wind chills will start to become below zero in places like Rapid City and Minneapolis and, Chicago and Omaha. And then during the day on Sunday, we start to slide things a little bit farther to the east. It starts to get down to minus 25 in Bismarck. And then Sunday afternoon highs are going to be no joke either. And this will all slide to the east on Monday and then again on Tuesday. And there's a threat for seeing some snow as we head towards Sunday across much of the east. Several inches of snow coming up across much the I-95 corridor. So we're going to have it all. Circling back to these wildfires, I mean, this is has been a big mess here. This landslide behind me may have been caused by water. But look, make no mistake about it. All these hillsides have been stripped of their vegetation by these wildfires. So it is incredibly unstable. It's just one of many reasons why so many residents haven't been allowed to go back to their homes.
As crews improve containment on the Palisades and Eaton fires, there's a new concern. The water used by firefighters may have led to scenes like this. A home in Pacific Palisades, lucky to survive the fire, then splitting completely in half.
The infrastructure under thousands of homes have been compromised.
The saturated grounds along hillsides have become unstable and threaten the ability for some residents to return.
These workers are digging down to get to the gas line. They need to shut it down, seal it off, so it's safe for residents to come back. And this has to happen in neighborhoods throughout the fire zone.
It hadn't really sunk in yet that our whole entire community would be wiped off the map.
Andrew Rowe lost his home in the fire. He and his dog Henry moved into this house 1 year ago and was finally wrapping up renovations when dark smoke began to engulf the entire neighborhood.
There's only 2 ways out of the Palisades, and it was a gridlock, and I thought I was going to die. So I'd actually called my parents in case I wasn't going to make it out.
And what did you say to them at that moment?
I just said, I love you, and if I don't make this out alive, I love you.
Rowe's been dealing with the shock and grief by writing down his thoughts right after evacuating in a journal.
And the first thing you say, number one, I am not a victim.
Yeah.
And you believe that. That's your mindset right now.
I mean, I've suffered loss, but having a victim mindset is another thing, and it's uprooted my life. I'm not going to wallow in self-pity when I've been blessed so much.
He had 9 things written down on that list. I asked him which one jumped out to him. He said, well, number 9, which is I'm alive. Very grateful, as are so many people across this area. They're grateful for these onshore winds. We're increasing the humidity this weekend, so we'll take that. That'll help put a lid on hot spots. They pretty much have a handle on the fire now. It's just about kind of next steps and getting people back to where they need to be. That said, on Monday, the humidity drops again, and we probably have a reset of the Santa Ana winds. There's no rain in the forecast here, but as you can see with this unstable land, I'm not sure how much rainfall we want. Gayle, if it does come, we want it to be very, very gentle because it's a precarious situation as far as just how unstable things are here.
I know. I got to tell you, Rob, I never thought about all the water would now lead to landslide. It's like the hits just keep coming. But before you go, you already know this. We're all going to Washington for the inauguration on Monday. Really looking forward to that. But something tells me we're going to be human popsicles. You should see me recalculating in my mind my wardrobe. Number one, looking for those big old earmuffs.
Bring it all, Gayle. Everything you got. This is going to be the coldest inauguration we've seen since Ronald Reagan and back in 1985. So temperatures will be right around 19, 21 degrees. That's measured in the shade without the wind. You incorporate the wind, it's going to be even colder than that. So a very chilly day come Tuesday. So dress warm for sure.
All right. Well, we know to be prepared. Thank you, Rob. Thanks a lot.